Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today's video was supposed to be a video announcing the February read for Peter's book club, which Mel, my co-president, and I have now referred to as the Murder Club, because we're doing a year of true crime in 2019. And last night we talked at length trying to pick the next book, and we came up with two that we really wanted to read. And I was just looking it up, and I texted her and I said, hey Mel, did you know that this is actually fiction? And she was like, are you sure? And I like screenshot it and sent it to her. I was like, okay, so we have to pick something else out. And so we have a couple other ideas. We're going to talk tonight. We will pick something, and then that video will be up tomorrow, because we said that we would announce the next month's read by the 15th of every month. We are currently reading The Stranger Beside Me by Ann Rule about Ted Bundy. It is getting tons and tons of attention over on the Goodreads thread, so go check it out. It's linked below. Join the book club. Friend me on Goodreads. I love Goodreads. I'm obsessed with Goodreads. And currently, I am reading that, and I am also reading, okay, Boo Radley is dying to be in every single one of my videos, I guess, today. Aren't you, Boo Radley? He said, well, I think I make a pretty good co-host. I think you do, too. Is he not so sweet? I'm currently reading The Stranger Beside Me, but I am also reading Hank Green's new book, which is called, hold on, let me pull it up for you, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. And it's really, really good, you guys. It is so much better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like an even more trite version of a John Green book, but it's not. It's totally not. If you had told me that John Green wrote this book, though, I would believe it. I mean, it feels like a John Green book, so go check it out. But today I wanted to talk about something else. I don't think I've ever done this video on this channel, and I wouldn't be doing it now had I not gotten a Goodreads notification about this book the other night. And don't you just love Goodreads when it comes to social media? I mean, it's like friendly, it's not like anything mean, there's nothing ugly about it, it's just books, and I love books. That's why I love Goodreads so much. But today I wanted to do a video talking about my most anticipated book of 2019, which I think will surprise some people, actually. And I also want to talk about the art of getting an ARC. And so an ARC is an advanced copy of a book. And, you know, I think, like, there's this misconception, I don't know, that booktubers just get free books left and right. Just, like, constantly we're getting books, you know? And what's interesting to me is, I have gotten a few free books. I'm not going to say that I haven't. But what's interesting to me is that the ones that I reach out for, I never get approved for. And I know people that literally get advanced copies all the time. Like, they collect advanced copies. They don't read them. They don't review them. They just get them all the time. And I'm like, more power to you, okay? And I wish I did. I wish I got them like that. I think it's fun. I think it's cool, but I don't. So I want to talk today, because I am going to reach out, and we're going to do like a little tracking to see if I actually get this book. Now, I will tell you one thing that's interesting, right? When we talk about like advanced copies, with young adult authors and with debut authors, it seems to be easier to get advanced copies. Or if you go to like BookCon and things like that, that definitely is easier. But with like adult books, like it's harder. Like Dan Brown or somebody like that, like it would be really hard to get advanced copies. So I'm going to tell you right now, me getting an advanced copy, I'm still suffering from a cold, I apologize. Me getting an advanced copy of this book is probably not going to happen. But the book that I am most anticipating reading in 2019, and let me tell you, I actually have a reason why I want this as an advanced copy, is because it takes place in Miami, and I am going to Miami in at the end of March for Ultra Music Festival, and I love to read books that take place at the place that I'm going, right? So it would be perfect. The book that I am, here, I gotta pull it up now, I got all these pictures on my phone. The Receipts, Whitney. Okay, my most anticipated book of 2000, and I mean, when your phone is filled up, hold on a second, I have to show you this. When your phone is filled up with pictures of dogs and wigs, can you see? So anyway, oh, I went all the way back. My most anticipated book of 2019 is, I think it's called Carrie Morra. It is called Carrie Morra, and it is, are you ready? From Thomas Harris, so I'll put it up right here. So if you don't know who Thomas Harris is, Thomas Harris wrote Silence of the Lambs, which he's most famous for, Red Dragon, and I've read everything by him. Hannibal he wrote. He is such a fantastic author, and if you thought the movie Silence of the Lambs was terrifying, go read the book. Like, it is literally that scary. So I'm really, really excited about this book. Let me read you the summary of it. The summary of Carrie Morra. From the creator of Hannibal Lecter and The Silence of the Lambs comes a story of evil greed and the consequences of dark obsession. $25 million in cartel gold lies hidden beneath a mansion on the Miami Beach waterfront. Ruthless men have tracked it for years. Leading the pack is Hans-Peter Schneider. He makes a living fleshing out the violent fantasies of other, richer men. Carrie Morra, caretaker of the house, has escaped from the violence in her native country. She stays in Miami on a wobbly temporary protected status, subject to the iron whim of ICE. Carrie catches the eye of Hans-Peter as he closes in on the treasure. But Carrie Morra has surprising skills, and her will to survive has been tested before. Oh my God, that sounds so good. I'm so ready for it. I'm so excited. Okay, so, and then it says, sneak peek from Carrie Morra. There's more. There's more. Can you believe it? Okay. Hans-Peter Schneider's boat slid very slowly past the great house in Biscayne Bay, water gurgling along the black hole. Oh my God, I feel like I'm in Miami right now. I can't wait to go back. Okay. Through his binoculars, Hans-Peter watched Carrie Morra, 25, in her pajama pants and tank top as she stretched on the terrace in the early morning light. My goodness, he said. Hans-Peter's canine teeth are rather long and they have silver in them that shows when he smiles. Hans-Peter is tall and pale, totally... What is this? This is like, reads kind of corny, doesn't it? Is tall and pale, totally hairless. Lacking lashes, his eyelids touch the glass of his binoculars, making smudges. He wiped the eyepieces with a linen handkerchief. The house agent, Felix, stood behind him on the boat. That's her, the caretaker, Felix said. Carrie Morra will be available in the U.S. on May 21st, 2019, and elsewhere also in May. Don't forget to add it to your want-to-read shelf. This is from all from Goodreads. While you wait to get your hands on the new book, you can also reread Harris's most popular books, and then they have underneath there. And this is from Grand Central Publishing, and then underneath there they also have Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon, which are two really great books. So, are you guys excited? I am so excited to read this book. Now, I will talk about some of the other books that I am really anticipating for 2018. Oh, that was last year. For 2019, some of the books that I'm really anticipating. Okay. Well, here's the problem, okay? I don't know when new books are coming out. Now, I do know that Sean David Hutchinson, who's one of my favorite authors, has several books coming out. I think 2 books coming out this year. One is like a personal account of growing up, I believe, and the other one is a fiction book, I believe. I could be completely wrong. If y'all know Dylan, I follow Dylan's tweets, and he is like the biggest Sean David Hutchinson fan in the entire world. And Sean David Hutchinson, who is one of my favorite writers too. If you guys don't know, he wrote like We Are the Ants and things like that. But anyway, he put out, like he had these envelopes and he had his book on it that he was sending out. And he like tweeted it to Dylan like, hey, guess what? I'm sending you this. And Dylan went crazy. So that was real cute. So anyway, I just love to see all the booktube stuff on Twitter. That's great, isn't it? Okay, so anyway, I know that's coming out. I also believe, maybe it's coming out next year now, I don't know. But Benjamin Alire Sainz was writing a sequel to Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. That would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see another Dan Brown. Okay, what would be my hopes for 2019? Another Dan Brown. Oh my God, what's it called? Is it The Come Up? Is that what it's called, by Angie Thomas? I cannot wait to read that. If you have an ARC, please send it to me. I would love to read that. The Hate You Give was one of my all-time favorite books. I would love for Julie Murphy to write another book this year, but I think she's probably not going to. There are so many things I would love to read. I would love, honestly, you know what's interesting? I did like 17 books that were my favorite books for 2018. And my favorite book of 2018, well, you have to go check out that video, but I'll tell you, was I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. And what is so interesting, that became my favorite book of last year, the reason why it was my favorite wasn't because it was so well researched, which it was, or that it was, you know, just so intriguing to me, which it was, or her story was so personal as well. But the fact that it like lingered with me throughout the rest, it still does. Like I still read every article and listen to every podcast and I'm obsessed with that case. And I think that's the very telling of a great book. You know, it's like the other day I reviewed One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. No, it's not the greatest book in the entire world, but it's lingered with me. And I think that's the thing, is when we read a book that really lingers with us, like this has gone totally off the subject, hasn't it? But when we read a book that like lingers with us, I think that is a sign of a really great book sometimes, or at least it has some kind of impact on us, you know? which was interesting because when I read the comments underneath that video, like most people were like, yeah, I had no, this book did nothing for me whatsoever. Talking about One of Us is Lying. The majority of people said that it didn't, the characters didn't do anything for them. I don't know why. Sometimes you just read a book at the right time and it has some kind of impact on you, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of books that I would love to come out in 2019, but I don't know what books will. But what's interesting is with I'll Be Gone in the Dark, that when I read that book, I had been sent that book, I think, through a subscription service. And then we kind of just threw it up there to do because so many people were saying, let's read this book for the book club. So we just read it. I think there was something else we were supposed to read and we actually threw that one in at the last minute. And isn't that interesting? Because okay, so Dumplin' was a book that I just kind of happened to see and I went and got, and it ended up being one of my all-time favorite books of life. The Hate U Give, I heard about from somebody tweeting on Twitter. It was another booktuber. Never would have heard about that book at that time had it not been about that. And I'll Be Gone in the Dark was just something that somebody threw out while I was live streaming one night. Talking about different books that we should read. It may have been a book club live stream. So it's interesting how we find books and how we hear about books and which books impact us at certain times, isn't it? I would love for another true crime book like that to come out this year. I'm really, really into the whole true crime thing, and I just finished last night The Innocent Man on Netflix, which I would suggest to anybody if you haven't watched it. It's great. So anyway, put in the comment section below. I will tell you what happens if I actually get the arc of this advanced copy, which I seriously doubt that will happen. But if I do, I will let you know. Yeah, put in the comment section below what your most anticipated read of release of 2019 is, because then you're educating me too on what new books are coming out this year. And I would also like to know, can you guys let me know some places that you find out where the new books are coming out? I know where to kind of find them for the next month or two, but what books are coming out in October or December, I never know that. So anyway, I think those are things that you think that every booktuber knows, but I don't. I don't know. How do you guys know that stuff? I don't know that stuff. Anyway, I need somebody to tell me, give me all the insider details and all that. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.